in May and go away? That is the question for not only the crypto markets, but the equity markets too. If you have a look at the Banter bubbles charts over here, it's another one of those red days where ultimately you really don't want to look. You don't want to look at your portfolio. So in today's show, we're going to assess what you should be looking to do next, whether May is an opportunity to accumulate, or if you should be looking to get out because it's going to go a whole lot lower. Without further ado, let's get into the show. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel, and then vote as well. We have a poll below. I want to know your thoughts. What is the best thing to do in the month of May? Should you sell and go away, come back afterwards? Should you accumulate through DCAing in, so strategic dollar cost averaging into the market, or should you stay long on leverage? 15% of you believe stay long on leverage. So there we have it. Please vote, cast your vote below, and then let's continue. One reason for the sell-off is it's being priced in for the next major FOMC meeting. I'll show you the way that the interest rate changes have started to be priced in, and it's coming up not this next week, but the week afterwards. It's going to be on the 1st of May. We have the FOMC statement, Fed funds rate decision is also coming out, and then the press conference, which always creates a lot of volatility. That is coming up on the 1st of May. And if you look at Jason Pizzino over here, he says interest rates continue to shift more in favor of a pause, which is, remember, previously it was meant to be a cut or a rate cut. Now they're looking for a pause. September 2024 is now on the verge of changing from what was previously meant to be a cut into a pause. And January 2025 has now moved up to a possibility of a 5 to 5.25% interest rate hike, and therefore hikes are starting to look much more probable and likely over the long term rather than cuts, which of course would be negative on the market, right? So the market determines that interest rate hikes are obviously bad for the market. That's being priced in. Prices are coming down. The other reason is, of course, we'll get into it in a moment, but the ETF flows. But the question is, what should you do in the month of May? Well, we can look at the previous historical returns from the month of May, and it's pretty much half and half, right? Half and half. Half of them are red, half of them are green for Bitcoin's previous history. But one thing that I can tell you is that when the previous month's April is red, then there's a high probability that May will follow on to be red, because of course, why? The trend is your friend till the end of the trend. So if you start to establish a downtrend, it's likely that that downtrend will continue. And so far, as it currently stands, we negative 9.8% for the month of April, which means good chance that we do see another red May. And this is following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight up months in a row for Bitcoin, which is pretty significant. So is this a disaster for the markets? No, not at all. This is a healthy correction. This is exactly what you would expect following so many straight green months in a row. So let's continue on over here. I've also thought, let's have a look at how the Mays reacted specifically around the halving date. The closest May to the halving date, some of them were slightly after the halving, some of them were slightly before the halving, and this is the data that we have. So this May over here, this is after your first halving in 2012. Of course, this one did lead to a pretty substantial drawdown. This was a sell in May and go away with a 50% shave off of price over there. If you look at this May, this is the yellow line over here, neutral, right? Neutral leading into the halving. There was a rally, slight pullback after that. Moving on to the next May, it was this one over here. Also a slight down, call it more sideways, and a pause, and then onwards and upwards. And then, of course, now we're moving into this May over here, which is, of course, a choppy environment. So this is exactly what we expected. We said expect at the very, very least a choppy environment, possibly even a pullback. I'll give you all the levels once again, but I don't want to make it boring. We've covered this a whole lot. The levels are clear. If you do want to tune out right now, these are the levels. It's going to be $55,000 first level of support, $52,000 next level of support, and then the worst case scenario would be a $48,000 Bitcoin. I'll show you what that would do to altcoins as well. We'll assess some of those in today's show. I have started to reduce risk with regard to some of my long exposure, so I'll bring that up in a moment. If you look over here, Fidelity got its first ever outflow with negative 23 million. And of course, this is causing the overall ETFs to turn negative once again. And we said eventually this will just be a meme. It won't be something that people will look at. But currently, they still are taking it seriously. Keep in mind that when the market participants who bought the ETF start to panic thinking that they bought the top and they decide to sell that ETF, of course, BlackRock, Fidelity, all the different ETF holders will have to sell the coins as well. And consequently, that's where you get these. This is still being moved by the market participants. Remember, the ETFs are just the custodians of the crypto, of the Bitcoin, and they're taking a fee for holding that, for managing the fund, right? We're looking at the stock market over here, which has pushed up into this level. We still yet to clear. In order to get into the safe zone, this is the level to clear the yellow boxes. 5,165 for the S&P 500. For the Nasdaq, we need to see it break and hold above 532. And then for the Dow Jones, which is on the bottom over here, we need to see it clear and break above 38,557. So very quick analysis over there. Here's your high time frame uptrend is still intact, but we are in a ranging market starting to form neutral. We don't want to break below the pink zone over here. Otherwise, you're going to threaten that Bitcoin uptrend. We're still waiting for a reset on the fear and greed. We've covered that. The open interest is reset, but we're waiting for funding to go negative in the event of Bitcoin turning down. Here's the parabolic trend on the high time frame, which is still holding up. You have a very, very clear range, which has been holding over here. This was your previous bull run's range. There you go, range high, range low. Big deviation, breaks back inside, sends price towards the upside. And now, of course, we're chopping around and consolidating. So breaking below $60,000 would mean you're breaking below previous month's low. And then you have to look to the next major levels of support, at which point you could potentially break the parabola down, and that changes the entire picture for Bitcoin. Right now, I'm viewing price action as potentially in a Wyckoff distribution schematic 2, which is this one over here. Previously, we were looking for a potential upthrust after distribution, which would occur in phase C or D, where you get one more spike towards the top side over here. But we didn't get that, right? We're following more along this trajectory. Currently, we're oscillating somewhere around here where my cursor is. And if you look into the different phases, this is what you would expect, right? If this is in fact the phase that we're following, so there's the chart, right? Here is your range low, here's your range high, here's your mid-range. We've rejected from the mid-range, we rejected from the 50-day moving average. This puts you somewhere in phase D. So again, going up, puts you somewhere in phase D. LPSY, we're probably somewhere around there where we rejected from the 50-day moving average. And it says this is your last gasp of demand, right? Price travels to or through the trading range support, which is those range lows. I'll show you the levels in a moment. And you'll often see multiple weak rallies occurring within phase D. The weak rally was the one that we recently had where price rallied up to $68,000, rejected off the 50-day moving average, which is now turning over. It's curling over. That's providing a lot of resistance over there. And then phase E comes next. What can you expect in phase E? That's the break below the trading range. So it says, it depicts the unfolding of the downtrend. At this point, this is where everyone knows, okay, we're in a bit of trouble over here. And ultimately, the price leaves the trading range and supply is fully in control, right? Demand is bulls, supply is bears. Supply is now in control. This breakdown is often tested with a rally that fails at or near this previous support level, flipping that previous support into resistance, and that represents a very high probability opportunity to short sell. So here it is. This is what we're looking at. These are the levels. There we go. This is the weak rallies that have occurred within the trading range. You can see the clear trading range. Price moves up, rejects off the mid-range, rejects off the 50-day moving average, comes down, and ultimately supply will be in control when Bitcoin breaks under $60,000. That's where you have to look to your next levels of support. I told you $55,000 will be the first stop. You'll get a temporary bounce there, and then you'll probably come down to this zone over here, which is going to be $52,000, and that lines up with your 200-day moving average. So we have to call a spade, right? We're realists over here. It is technically support until proven otherwise, but you are starting to see a shift in momentum and trend, right? You have your highs, your lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, what can you expect next? Lower low, right? Bounce up, reject off the top side of the trading range over there. That's a high probability shorting opportunity, and you can short it down to the next support, and worst case scenario would be $48,000. So that's that. Whale School, guys, we start in 5 days and 6 hours. Sign up using the link in the description below. It's only for the first 1,000 people that's able to join. I think we are already almost fully booked. This always seems to be taken. We have an overflow from the previous cohorts that weren't able to get in. So make sure you use the link in the description below. Sign up. It's free. It's valued at $3,000, but you get it free because of these amazing sponsors, which are ultimately covering the cost of the course for each of you that join. So take advantage of that while you can. Okay, if you look at straight out of the block over here, he says very good analysis. This is now one hopium case. I'll show you in the low time frame. There is a hopium case, but guys, bulls are running out of time. They need to strike, and very soon. I mean, they need to strike probably today, because otherwise things are going to start to roll over very quickly. I'll show you why. He says over here, the possible bull case, examples of when the daily RSI broke out of a falling trend line below the 40 level. They led to pretty good buying opportunities when you did get that breakout. We've seen the start of that breakout. He says, in the aggressive phase of a bull market, the RSI might not trend so deep and may bottom at high levels, looking for higher highs on daily RSI and price action, and there it is. So here's the previous buys, right? This is when Bitcoin was trading all the way down around $20,000, and the RSI broke out below that 40 level, the 40 RSI read. That's where the breakout level happened from. It depends where it took place, and that led to huge move, right? RSI starts to trend down. You get massive bullish divergence, Price is moving up, RSI is coming down, ultimately starts to break out. Next big move up, same thing. And here you have the RSI, which is attempting to break out. So there it is on the chart. There's the RSI attempting to break out. We have had the moving average cross and close above that level. We still need to wait for a bit more from the bulls, and this is the level to reclaim. Nothing has changed. It's the pink box. I think I can lower it ever so slightly. You can probably say that's the zone to clear now at about just below $67,000. If bulls can get price above $67,000 based off of a short squeeze and hold it there, then maybe this scenario will start to play out. But until then, risk is towards the downside. Do not fade the trend, right? It's starting to roll over. You have price cap below all things that matter. The pivot level, the 200 EMA on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame, also below the 9 and the 18 exponential, which are crossed bearishly. You've had the death cross over there, and they're starting to spread. This is where, again, you can expect that supply takes control on a break below this level, and then you have to look to lower levels, right? So just be cognizant and aware of that. A choppy environment, this is where we want to see bulls take control immediately. I shared this with the Whale Room live community yesterday on the show, and we said maybe you get a bit of a rejection from here. We're looking for, at the time of the show, we were somewhere here. I said watch for a bounce off of this area. You can see you got the exact wick into that zone. Simple reason why is I could identify using high block capital that was a high liquidation zone. So here you can see that's the wick. It came into the liquidation zone, took that liquidity, which ultimately leads to a little bit of a bounce. I said watch the rejection from the EMAs, which is currently what's happening. Watch for a little bit of a W formation where you set in a new high low, fill in a little bit of this wick, and then maybe get a spike up towards the top side. And then this is where the big question mark will remain as you approach that mid-range level, which is everything that I've just shown you, $67,000. Do you reject from that level, or do you reclaim it? If you reclaim it, bullish. That means that we can look at continuation higher, and at the end of the day, that would mean this is just yet another higher low in a more bullish scenario, right? But if you reject from that level over there, well, ultimately, you might come all the way back down and still play out that Wyckoff distribution schematic too, which we've just shown. So I know I'm talking very quickly here, but guys, I don't want to bore you. I must be honest. This is a choppy ranging market. Let's keep it quick, concise, simple, and then we can move on to your altcoin requests. By the way, please smash the like button. Please smash the like button if you appreciate the quicker shows, just to get it out of the way and give you all the information that you need to go on with your day. Please smash the like button. I'll know if we get a skewed amount of likes on this show that I must continue to do shows like this. So smash the like button and let's continue. Okay, very, very quickly. Part of the bias or possibility of the short squeeze is if you look at the negative cumulative liquidation delta, it is still there. Historically within a range, very, very good. Marks the bottoms. When it's positive, it marks the tops. Pretty simple, right? Just look at that. Also, I'm talking very quick because I know most of the retail have left. Well, we all retail, but let's call it the more dedicated, sophisticated retail are here now, and the less sophisticated retail, they've left, right? We know that. We can see in the views. This is the time you want to stay focused. So I can talk at a much higher level for the rest of you who have been around for a long time, because you can follow along. When the other guys come back, we have to slow it down a bit. But by that point, you guys have already bought near the bottoms, the next major lows, and ultimately you'll be selling to those guys who left. So let's look at this. Down, 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 right? Open interest down, spot down, leverage is down. This is controlling the downtrend. The supply is almost in control. You have a lot of guys looking at ETH bottoming over here. So it's a constant narrative. It takes long. It's frustrating. They say massive liquidations and open interest wipeouts for ETH to the $3,100 level. ETH BTC is showing a little bit of strength at 0.049 mark. News reports are now being released with info about how ETH's ETF could potentially be denied going into May, despite multiple filings by large institutions. We know that BlackRock and Fidelity refiled. ETH ETF approval deadlines are approaching again in late May. So pay attention for May. I mean, that will eventually get priced in. Maybe it gets denied the first couple of times, but eventually it'll be priced in. Here's your picture. As it currently stands, ETH BTC is still in a strong downtrend. It's broken below the bottom of the range level, and there's some key levels that must be reclaimed. There's honestly no point in forcing any trade over here and rushing into positions. All you need to do is see that. You need to see it break up, hold above, and then start to reclaim key levels, and you can start to go long. Until it does that, sit on the sidelines, don't touch it, just wait. Here's ETH USD on the right, coming into the mid-range. It's in the weaker zone because it's lost that mid-range level, which is the yellow box. We want to see ETH USD break and hold above 3,450. If it does, now you can target up to the top side. Long term, though, probably a good buy. I mean, from a simple probability standpoint, what is the chances that ETH will not take out its previous all-time highs? I would say the chances of that happening are very, very low. So if you are looking for an easy trade, which is relatively low risk, I mean, just to prior highs, that's a 56% move already as it currently stands. Okay, Bitcoin dominance, I've drawn in the lines. This is my one of my plans. That's what I'm looking at, something like that. A little bit of a push down into the bottom of the trend line here, which is also mid-range support marked by this yellow box. As you come into there, looking for one more bounce towards the top side, 58% on Bitcoin dominance, probable rejection from there, and that's where ETH BTC probably rallies. You do also have bullish divergence, which is currently taking place over there. Here's total 3. We showed the measured move of the breakout yesterday, which would be coming up to 1.257 trillion. That is based on simple normal chart patterns, right? If you look at simple chart pattern in a textbook, you're measuring from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, copy paste to the top. That gives you a breakout level, which from current price action on total 3, which is your altcoins, you'd be looking at about a 93% move. So doing 2x what ETH would do to get to its new all-time highs. Okay, Solana rejecting from the mid-range level over here. I would have liked to see it push a little bit higher into the zone, but I'll give that as a rejection. You can see the selling coming in just before that level. If you break this trend line down, it is going to start to look a little bit sketchy because now you increase the risk of breaking below the key $120 level. Break below $120 level and $80 becomes a possibility. Just to give you the tool or the measuring tool to show you perspective, that would be about a 35% dump. All right. What you can do to make some money, or at least capture a little bit of liquidity from the market, is you can have a look in the description. There's a link to the BWB airdrop. You can get the BitGet airdrop using the link below. Connect your wallet. You have 2 days and 2 hours remaining. The other thing that you can do is, we've spoken about it before, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢, which is coming right now into key support. You can buy and stake this token. There it is. You can buy and stake the token over here. You're getting a bunch of different rewards where you can earn 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢 tokens for staking 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢 tokens. Or you can go onto the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢 platform. The link is also below. And you can engage with different communities. If you know anything about the projects that they have listed and you engage with their relevant campaigns, they will also airdrop you money. They'll pay you for doing that, basically. So have a look at that. And the last thing, pay attention to 𝗕𝗬𝗓, right? 𝗕𝗬𝗓 is the early stage VC access for the 99% of the market that usually can't get into these things. These are seed round investments, right? The 𝗕𝗬𝗓 token is not yet launched. I've received a lot of messages about it on Discord as well. Guys, it hasn't come out yet, but I think it's coming very, very soon. It's going to be the wealth token. You would need to buy and stake the wealth token if you didn't already participate with everything previously when mentioned. And then consequently, by doing that, you'll be able to qualify, like with Seedify, for example, you'll qualify for those seed round investments. So there's a couple of different launch pads, Mobi, Seedify, 𝗕𝗬𝗓. I'm most close to the 𝗕𝗬𝗓 project because I personally know the entire team which vet these projects. Okay, let's look at the gummy token attempting to break this downsloping trend line over here. Yesterday we said, well, you're closing multiple candles below the bottom of the range. That's going to lead to continuation down. Let's see what happens over here. If it does reject from what was clearly a trading range over here, if it comes into this zone, that would then become negative and mean that you'd have to look for low prices. This becomes a major opportunity for those of you who didn't get into the gummy token beforehand, right? So if you had no exposure to gummy beforehand, that is an opportunity to get in. A bullish sign would be a big push up over here and a reclaim of that range level. Then you can say, look at that as a deviation, right? So we'll pay attention to these charts. I also told Whale Room community yesterday that sometimes when it's a new chart like this, you're better off focusing on the market cap, right? The market cap's 123 million right now. I said as price was coming down, focus on the market cap levels. They'll probably try to defend $100 million market cap, which is exactly what happened. Price pushed up. If you do reject from these high levels and you come down and there's no way of really looking in the previous history to find a bottom, look at the market cap. Increments of 5, right? 50 million is probably the next major zone of support where you'd be looking to allocate, for example, into something like gummy. Okay, we'll look at some of the other coins as well. You can see that memes are becoming big, right? Pantera Capital says meme coins are here to stay and create gigantic opportunities. They seek to raise $1 billion for a crypto fund, which is crazy, right? Stratos hedge fund in WIF says it expects the launch of meme coin funds coming soon. These guys are always late. So congratulations to the rest of you who got in early. Let's take a few altcoin requests, right? We can have a look at a few altcoin requests. Also, vote in the poll. While we wait for that, vote in the poll. Let's see the results over here. How many of you have voted? 1,710. There's about 1,000 of you that still need to vote. So most of you are saying accumulate or DCA in the month of May. I would agree with that. Okay, sell and go away. Some of you say that. Stay long on leverage. I don't know. That one I wouldn't agree with, but I would say that May would become an opportunity where you want to look to buy the dip on your favorite altcoins, right? If we continue to consolidate and sell off ever so slowly into the month of May and June, that becomes a major, major buying opportunity. Remember, we had many, many, many months here of straight upside. So 4, 5, 6, 7 straight months in a row of green. That's the most that we've ever had. You should expect that you're going to get at least 2 to 3 months of red, and that becomes a buying opportunity. But also pay attention to what happens with Bitcoin dominance, because 3 months in a row of red for Bitcoin doesn't necessarily mean that altcoins will nuke. If the sell-off is happening slowly and controlled, you might see something like this play out where Bitcoin dominance begins to break down, at which point many altcoins will rally aggressively. Let's see today, what do the altcoins even look like? Okay, let's look on the daily time frame. Okay, 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗕𝗎, NEAR, BTT, Safe, Algo. Okay, those are, let's look in the top. Here we go, 100, 101 to 200. Popcat, meme coins again. HNT, let's look at this one over here. LSD, Kudos, Mobile. So it's kind of random. You can use Banter Bubbles as well to try and spot narratives. So you kind of go through this list. If you see the same types of coins popping across 101 to 200 to 300 to 400 in terms of market cap, and you can spot a narrative over there, that becomes a trading opportunity, right? Okay, Bosun, I see one of the real world asset coins moving over there. Okay, altcoin request. Let's quickly go into a few of these. Yes, guys, I know I see in the chat. I know you guys made this coin over here. Doops. There it is. I know Kyledoops. I know there's one for Rand. I know there's one for Sheldon. What do I have to say about this? Honestly, not much. There it is. I have nothing to do with the creation of the coin. I don't endorse it, but I don't condone it either. I'm just kind of neutral. It is what it is. I hope that you guys make money. There's the chart. As long as, of course, people slowly scale into these positions, they have a chance. Of course, guys, I can't pump it on the shows. I can't do anything like that. That would be illegal. So good luck with the coin. There's someone's buying right now. Full disclosure, bought half a Solana's worth. That's it. I put a little bit of exposure in case my name pumps. I haven't looked at Rand's one. There's probably a few on Rand. I don't know what the contract address is. Rand, let's see. Rand Mooner, I love that. That's cool. Let's see how Rand is. And then we'll look at Sheldon. Okay, 240 is also at 240. See, these guys are smart. They obviously want us to compete against each other. Rand won't want to be losing on market cap to me. Okay, what else do we have? I'm gonna guess the other one, Sheldino. That's my guess. Look at that. I knew it. Sheldino is the ticker. How? Let's quickly put that there. What is Sheldino at? Okay, 45. Sheldino is at 45, so his is still low. Sheldon, the sniper. Okay, guys, that is the most exposure that I can give this. I do not want to go to jail. I do not want to go to jail for something like this. What else do we have? Looking at the comments over there. Okay, let's look at 𝗬𝗓 since it is one of the top performers. I see that is one of the questions. There we go, 𝗬𝗓. Let's see. All right. Okay, 𝗬𝗓 it's kind of a sloppy area to get into this particular coin. I would be looking for a trading range to continue to hold, and personally, I would prefer to pick it up somewhere around here at about 22. I know in Whale Room Discord, of course, we did literally give it over here at 22. Whilst everyone was pumping this thing over here, we were also saying to take profit because you can see a pretty clear trading range, right? There you go. You can see a clear trading range that's taken place over there. Resistance, support, resistance, comes back down, temporary support, loses that level, breaks up. Look at how it respected that zone. Upon the breakout, comes back to test it as support, resistance, comes down to mid-range, resistance, comes down to support, mid-range. So possibly if Bitcoin does turn over, you'll see something like that. I would be a buyer over there. I'm already long, guys. I'm long over here, longed within the circle. We gave that on the shows, but if I had to allocate new capital, I'd be looking around that, just around that $20 zone. Okay. What else? Let's look at Matic. I see you guys want Matic, and I just haven't looked at Matic for a long time, so why not? There we have it. Matic, how is Matic doing? Okay, level to level. I mean, it lost the mid-range. There it is. It lost the mid-range, coming back to test it as resistance. Failure to hold that means you could potentially move all the way down to 52 cents. I know Matic must be quite disappointing for a lot of people because I know people had high hopes for Sandeep, the founder, of course, of Matic, but it hasn't done much. It really hasn't done much. Okay, what else? Okay, guys, join Whale School. Sign up. If you have never done Whale School, please do Whale School. It's my gift to you. Honestly, I don't get much out of it. It's for you guys. It's my gift to you. Join Whale School. It's completely free. And I think let's cut off over there. We don't want to make long shows. If you enjoy the shorter shows, smash a like button. Let me know in the comments after the show as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one on Monday. Cheers for now.